Hello, boys and girls. We are still busy with number systems, and today we're going to do direct proportion and indirect proportion. I did mention direct proportion in a previous video, so I'm going to do it now, more in depth. So, proportion, you're going to ask yourself, what is proportion? And I thought of including these two pictures because that will explain the concept of proportion the best. So you remember Alice in Wonderland? She has shrunk and shrunk again. And then the other example is when you take a picture or a diagram or anything and you go to a copy machine and you enlarge it or reduce it. What is happening? And that is where proportion is playing here a very big role. So Alice luckily shrunk proportionally. That means all her body parts shrunk in the same ratio. It's not that her arms shrunk, but not her ears, or some body parts shrunk and others not. So that is what proportion means, is that all of them shrunk in the same ratio. And we see here that all parts shrunk half the original size and then shrunk again half the second size. And now we talk about a constant ratio of a half. The same happens with a photocopy machine. All parts of the picture are reduced or enlarged with the same factor. That is what proportion is. Everything enlarged or reduced proportionally with the same factor. Let's look at the difference between direct and indirect proportion again. Direct proportion, the quantities or the numbers increase or decrease. So both increase or both decrease. And they increase or decrease with a constant quotient, which is ratio or division. I told you in the rate and ratio video that ratio is always constant quotient. It's a number divided by a number equals to a number divided by a number. So it's ratio equals to ratio, constant quotient. In a directly proportional way, which I will explain in the next slide. Indirect proportion, the quantities or numbers increase and decrease. So direct proportion was increase or decrease, and now for the first time we're going to talk about increase and decrease in the same problem. So the quantities, the numbers increase and decrease with a constant product or multiplication. We are now going to talk about the product of the quantities, whilst here we talked about the quotient of the quantities. And these numbers or quantities are decreasing and increasing in an indirectly proportional way. Let's look at that. So, the direct proportion, as one quantity increases, so does the other increase. Or, as one quantity decreases, so does the other decrease. Same as ratio. Now, indirect proportion, for the first time, we're now going to have both increase and decreases in this situation. As one quantity increases, the other decreases. Or, as one quantity decreases, the other increases. Let's look at more examples to explain these concepts. So, indirect proportion, we have the price of potatoes. As the number of bags of potatoes increases, the price increases. The more potatoes you buy, the more potatoes you want to buy, the more you're going to pay. As the number of bags decreases, the price decreases. The less potatoes you buy, the less you pay. But this is a completely different concept when you work with indirect proportion. The time it takes for painters to do a certain type of work. So let's say the painters are going to paint a hall. The more painters I have, the less time it's going to take. And the less painters I have, the more time they're going to take. to paint that same hall. This is indirect proportion. As the number of painters increases, the time it takes decreases. As the number of painters decreases, the less or the lower number of painters you have, the more time it's going to take to paint that same hall. I'm going to explain this a little bit further. I know this looks very complicated, but the moment I've done this slide, you're going to understand exactly what's going on here. So let's look at the difference between the two again. Price of potatoes. There's my little table. X and Y. Price over bag. So there I have 60 Rand for 1 bag, 120 Rand for 2 bags, 180 Rand for 3 bags. The constant is going to be the quotient, the division, the ratio. So the constant is X divided by Y, which is equals to 60 divided by 1, which is 60, which is equals to 120 divided by 2 is 60, which is equals to 180 divided by 3, which is 60. So my constant will be my quotient. Let's go to the indirect proportion, the time it takes for painters to do a certain kind of work. So in indirect proportion, at that row where X is, you will see that the numbers are doubling, whilst in Y, the numbers are halving. But if I times these two vertically, we always go vertically, if I times these two vertically, I will get to the same answer. That's my constant. So 2 times 12 is 24, 4 times 6 is 24, 8 times 3 is 24. All of them has got the same constant, which is the product. And I think you understand that now. Direct proportion, we work with a quotient as a constant. And in indirect proportion, we're going to work with a product as a constant. Let's do examples and you will understand that further. Now, what's interesting about direct proportion is that we're going to use the same exact 3 methods than in ratio. You can go through the 3 methods again and decide which one you like most. I'm only going to do one. I will do the formula, but you can also choose to do any one of the other methods. So let's look at the problem. A car uses 40 liters of petrol to travel 340 kilometers. How far can it travel on 32 liters? It's direct proportion, so the liters, that units are going down, the kilometers will go down. This method is the cross multiplication method. You can go through this in your own time. The method I'm going to use is the formula. There it is. 40 liters travels 340 kilometers. There's your X and Y. 32 liters is going to travel how many? 32 liters is going to travel how many kilometers? How far? What is the distance on 32 liters? There's my quotient. Form your 2 ratios, equate them. 40 over 340 equals to 32 over Y. Cross multiplication, you know that by now. 40Y is 10880. So Y is 272 kilometers. So you can see that the liters has decreased and the distances decreased. There's another method which you know well, the unitary method. You can also go through that in your own time. So this is an example of indirect proportion. So this is now the first time we're going to look at an example of indirect proportion. Remember I said in indirect proportion, and that's also the only way when you get it. As the one quantity increases, the other quantity decreases, or the other way around. The moment you see this in a problem or in a sum in the exam, you know it's indirect. But if you look at the sum and both quantities are increasing or decreasing, you know it's direct proportion. So let's look at this example. Parcels of food last 20 people 6 days. How many days will the food last for 12 people? A quantity decreases and the other one increases. So 20 people are using or eating these parcels of food over 6 days. Less people, instead of 20, I now have 12 people are going to eat the same amount of parcels of food over a longer period of time. Increase, decrease. Let's look at the table. 20 people. The food will last 6 days. And that same amount of food for 12 people will now probably going to last longer. We use the formula xy equals to the constant 12 times x, or you can make this 12 times y, or you can make it a, or you can make it c or e, it doesn't really matter, but 12 times that amount there that you don't know equals to 20 times 6. So it's 12x equals to 120. You're going to divide by 12 both sides, and x is 10 days. So 12 people will, for 12 people, the food will last 10 days. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I enjoyed it very much. We talk again. Bye-bye.